Welcome back. Picture a client describing their challenge, and as they talk, you start to realize something. They're thinking inside a very small box. They can see the walls of that box clearly. They just can't see what's outside it. And they're so focused on what's inside that they've forgotten there's an outside at all. That's exactly where a coach comes in. In this video, we're going to look at how to recognize when a client's thinking has gotten boxed in and the role you play in helping them step back and see beyond it. This is the heart of exploring beyond current thinking, and it's where some of the most meaningful awareness in coaching gets born. So let's name what's actually happening for the client. They arrive carrying mental walls that feel completely solid to them. Here's the thing though, those walls usually haven't been examined at all. They've simply been accepted, lived with, treated as fixed. And from inside that frame, the client defines their challenge in ways that quietly rule out whole categories of solutions before the exploration even begins. They've decided certain options are off the table. And they've done it without ever asking themselves why the current frame is doing its work in the background, keeping them from seeing what lies beyond it. None of this is a flaw in the client. It's just how thinking works when no one has invited it to stretch. And that invitation is your job. Here is the marker we're working with. Marker 7104. Ask questions that help the client explore beyond their current thinking. This sits under Competency 7, evokes awareness, and it maps to PCC assessment. Markers 7.2 and 7.3, which are about new or expanded ways of thinking about the who and the what. Read it again and notice the verb. It says, ask questions that help the client explore. It does not say, tell the client what's outside the box, or hand them a bigger perspective. Your role is to ask in a way that helps them step back and see more possibilities than they currently perceive. You're creating space for an expanded view and then trusting them to look. I want to be very clear about what this is and what it isn't, because it's easy to get this wrong. This is expansion, not invalidation. You are not telling the client their view is wrong. Look at the difference. Invalidation says their current thinking is mistaken. Set it aside, replace it with something better. Expansion says their view is real and valid. It's their genuine experience, and there may be more to see than they've noticed so far. You honor their current perspective as the foundation for any exploration. And from that foundation, you gently invite them to consider what else might be true or possible. When you skip the honoring and jump straight to expanding, it lands as a correction, and correction shuts the exploration right down. So how do you actually do this? 3 moves. First, acknowledge the box. Start by validating where they are. Never dismiss their current thinking because it's their lived reality and the starting point for everything that follows. Second, probe the boundaries. Ask curious questions that test the edges of the assumption. What would happen if? What's beyond that? You're inviting them to push on walls they've never once pushed on. Third, suspend the constraint. Ask something like, if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you try? That helps them temporarily set a limiting belief aside so they can see what's really there. Acknowledge, probe, suspend. You're widening the range of thinking and asking, plainly, what's on the outside of that box? Here's an idea worth holding on to. Barriers are rarely as solid as they appear. When a client describes a wall in front of them, your work is to help them discover the roots around it. If there's a barrier, the question becomes, how do you go around that? When clients see a wall, you help them notice the alternative paths they hadn't looked for. And often, as they look, they discover something important. Some of their constraints are chosen, not given. The barrier they treated as a fixed feature of reality turns out to be an assumption they've been carrying. A perceived boundary can become a doorway. You don't argue them out of the wall. You get curious alongside them about whether the wall is really a wall at all. Now, let me name the traps because there are a few easy ones to fall into. The first is accepting the client's first framing without exploring what's outside it. Don't assume their initial problem definition is the only valid one. The second trap is pushing beyond in a way that feels dismissive of their reality. Expanding questions that make a client feel unheard will shut down exploration rather than open it. And the third is one I want you to watch for in yourself. It's asking expanding questions without genuine curiosity. When questions are asked mechanically, just running the technique, they fall flat. The words can be perfect, and they still won't land. So watch for these three, because any one of them quietly closes the door you're trying to open. That last trap points to something that matters more than any technique here. Your genuine interest in what lies beyond is what actually invites the client to look. The eye notices this first. When your curiosity is real, the client feels it, and it draws them toward the edge of their thinking. You're exploring with them, not correcting them, and that posture changes how every question lands. Real curiosity unlocks what pressure never can. You can't force someone out of a box, but a coach who is honestly fascinated by what might be outside it makes the client fascinated too. So before you reach for the perfect expanding question, check your own posture. Are you curious truly? That interest is the thing that opens the box. So here's what I want you to take with you. Your job is to help clients discover that their perceived boundaries are not walls. They're invitations to explore further. Honor their current perspective as valid as their real experience. And from there, gently invite them to see what else might be possible or true. Acknowledge the box, probe the boundaries, suspend the constraint, and bring genuine curiosity to all of it. Coming up next, we'll look at one of the strongest ways to expand a client's thinking, the what if question. I'll show you how to use it well to help a client see past a barrier long enough to discover what they actually want. I'll see you there.